Hello everybody! Today I'm going to be reviewing Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so I want to start off by saying that I am new to this fandom. I literally started reading these books at the beginning of January, read them all the way up until the release of Lady Midnight, and I was still reading Shadowhunter Academy when Lady Midnight was released. So all the details about Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter World was fresh in my mind when I went into reading Lady Midnight, which for me made the experience just that much more enjoyable. The book actually takes place from multiple characters' points of view, but mainly in the points of view of Emma and Julian, who we meet in City of Heavenly Fire. As many people who have read City of Heavenly Fire and Shadowhunter Academy, they'll know that Emma and Julian are paripetye, which, as you know, paripetye can't be in love, at least romantically, which causes a big problem considering they're everybody's OTP at this point. So there's that forbidden love that Cassandra Clare just loves throwing at us. The book takes place 5 years after the Dark War and the Cold Peace from City of Heavenly Fire. And this basically follows Emma and Julian as they try to solve a murder case that's happening in Los Angeles that could be a connection to her parents' murders that happened 5 years before that. A lot of people that read Lady Midnight have already read all of Cassandra Clare's other books. Going into this book, you're given the basics of being a shadow hunter and being in the shadow hunter world. New readers can come in and understand what's going on, but it's also written in a way that if you are a lover of the series and a part of the fandom, you can go into this book and just not be bored by being overloaded with details that you already know about. I think my favorite change from the other books to Lady Midnight is the fact that technology has become a bigger part without overloading you with it. Not like the TV show where it's just technology everywhere. But it's like they have, they're using cell phones constantly, and they have a computer. They're using a computer to help them solve the case instead of just going to the Silent Brothers and the Clave, which they're not very helpful anyway, so who would want to go to them? Reading Cassandra Clare's books, I've come to the hard reality that you cannot trust anyone. Never trust anyone. Not your tutor, not your father, not your grandmother, not your best friend. No one. Do not trust them. You can't trust them because something is bound to happen and someone's gonna stab you in the back. They can't be trusted. The people who you think you can't trust sometimes end up being the people that help you the most, who go more out of their way to help you, which is weird. The pacing of this book was by far my favorite of any of her books. Nothing seemed drawn out, but it also didn't seem like everything just happened like bam, bam, bam. The characters, oh my god, the characters, I fell in love with them all. I think my favorite characters of this whole thing were Kit and Ty. Even though you don't get a lot of Kit in this, he was still one of my favorite characters, just because he was so different. But you have the two main characters, Julian and Emma, which my heart hurt for both of them, but mostly Julian because of all the stuff he had to go through and everything he's had to do since the Dark War. And my heart just reached out to him, and I can't wait to see how the next two books play out for both of them. It was just fantastic and amazing and heartbreaking, and the cliffhangers that she writes into these books that just keep you wanting to read more and more and more. And that's one of the reasons I'm glad I came into the fandom late, is because I could read the first two series all the way through to the end. Didn't have to wait for any of the books to come out. I'm gonna have to wait for Lord of Shadows to come out, and I'm not sure I can do it. I may go crazy. I'm not sure. No, I don't want to go crazy. I'm not gonna go crazy. I might go crazy. If you haven't read this book yet, I highly recommend that you do. But if you do want to read this book, I would highly suggest reading the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Device series first, and also Shadowhunter Academy. Especially if you're a Malik fan, I would highly suggest reading novella 9 of Shadowhunter Academy. If you read nothing else, read that one. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars, like all of her books. That is all for my spoiler-free review of Lady Midnight. I will hopefully have a discussion video up for this book soon. See you next time, guys. Bye!